And I am back. Today it is Tuesday, March 30th. It's about 12 midnight. And my shirt is popping. I can put it down. I'm doing a diet. Tuesday, March 30th. The year is 2021. We're still in the coronavirus pandemic. I'll get to another video about that after this, about how we're heading into the fourth surge, or third or fourth. I think in the United States, we'll get back to that. How people don't want to take the vaccines. They ignorant as fucking hell. I hope you're not one of them ignorant niggas that don't want to take the vaccine. The coronavirus is going to bite you in your motherfucking ass. So anyway, but we'll get back to that. Roland Martin did a video with a 21-year-old Georgia man who wants to open his own school. A 21-year-old Georgia black man, his name was King Randall, opened a school, or is in the process of opening up a school, or purchased a school to open an old school building. And he doesn't feel like he needs to be involved in politics or voting. Well, Roland Martin disagreed and came up with a whole lot of, it wasn't the prettiest interview. I mean, it was kind of, they were kind of going at it. I mean, Roland Martin is a reporter. He's got to entertain us at some point. The interview didn't bother me at all, because I kind of agree with both of them to a degree, but I'm leaning more towards Roland, because voting in politics, you ain't going to open up a school and then you're going to run a school without the government controlling how the school is ran, right? You're going to open up a school, but you're not involved in politics. But the politicians can make rules governing you how that school could be ran. And that's what Roland was trying to explain to this young man. You can't just separate yourself from the politics of the United States and the government of the United States. We all live here under its authority. I cannot turn this apartment into a school and bring kids and educate them. They're not going to allow that. I'm not accredited. Who will accept these diplomas when they graduate? See, there are some issues that the government can have in this young man's plans. He wants to open up a school in Douglas County, out there on that side of town. But it's still in the state of Georgia, in the United States of America. They're not just going to ignore the school. They have to make sure these kids are being educated. So the government is going to have certain rules. How the school is run. He may not like it. How he gets licensed and permits. You can't just throw open a school where you want to throw them. I can't just throw up a school in this apartment. He said he purchased a school building. Fine. But if this young man thinks he's just going to open up a school and these kids are going to get degrees and graduation without being accredited, he don't understand. But he's young. He's very young. We have to be involved in the politics that govern our lives. Ain't no escaping it. You must vote. You must be involved, because the government controls everything around us. And if you don't vote and you're not involved, then they will put dumbass people like Donald Trump in position. You do remember dumbass Donald y'all do remember dumbass Donald motherfucking Trump. I do. 4 years under that brutal, ignorant motherfucker. By far the worst president we ever had. Y'all can't say shit about Joe Biden after we went through 4 fucking years of Donald dumbass Trump. I'll just turn around and slap your ass. You got something to say about Joe. But listen, this young man feels, well, that's not my fight. It ain't your mother. Well, I'm listening to this. I'm watching this video. I'm watching this interview. Now, Roland was too aggressive with this young man. And I really wish I could have talked to him. Because you got to get him to understand, you cannot open up a school and think that the government, which runs the whole county, the state, and is not going to be involved in how you educate what's going on there. Your licensing, your permits. Come on. So, great, open up a school. But let's not ignore and pretend that the government and politics and voting does not have an impact on that school you plan on opening. Because they just could decide that we're going to outlaw these schools. If you don't have a school that meets a certain criteria, yada, 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 they come up with all kinds of fucking rules. Hell, I don't know, they come up with some shit. Because you sat back on the sidelines not voting and participating. So, King Randall King, or whatever his name, I think it's King Randall or something like that. 21-year-old kid, he don't know no better. He think he gonna open up his school and everything gonna be honking fucking dory. But it doesn't work that way. All right. King Randall, who describes himself on Twitter as a Christian. I deduct points for that. Conservative, we gonna deduct some more points. And the supporter of ADO, what is that black shit? The founder of the X for Boys, a youth organization for young boys, black men ages 11 to 17. According to Randall, is also in the process of opening up a self-funded school for boys. Randall promotes self-sufficiency and got into it with Martin over the concept over Martin Roland's Unfiltered podcast. All right, so they've been kind of going back and forth on Twitter about whatever. Roland firmly believes, and he's truthful, the government, we pay for the U.S. government. We pay out of our taxes. We paying for this shit. We paying for shit for them to persecute us. Because if you're paying for it, but you're not participating in it. Now, Georgia has instituted some real ignorant, dumbass voting laws. You can't give voters water or food while they waiting in line in 100-degree heat. Why would that matter? But this young man wants to ignore this. La 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 la. He out there planting flowers in the field. La la la. See Jesus. Jesus gonna say it today. Jesus gonna say it today. Jesus gonna say it today. Y'all kids sing along. Jesus gonna say it today. Yeah. Jesus gonna say it today. The whole school you built. Jesus gonna save the day. Jesus gonna save the day. But Jesus gonna save the day. But the white folks making the rules. How Jesus gonna save the day? When the white folks making all the rules. How Jesus gonna save the day? Save our school and education when they make rules to keep us black folks down. You open up a school, but you don't want to be involved in the political process that determines if the school can open, what kind of books you might be able to have. There's some accreditation. Because without accreditation, these diplomas these young folks are coming out of there with is worthless. They can't go to college. Where you go to school at? Oh, the Black Christian school across the street. Oh, we've heard about that school. Those diplomas are no good. Well, can I just take a test and show you I've been educated? Not allowed. You can't be that stupid. He's young, excuse me, I know he's young, he don't know no better. But I know good enough to know you got to be involved in the government, or involved in this institutional government surrounding you. You're trying to open up a school. That's not, he kept saying that's not his fight. And I'm thinking, dude, this is your fucking fight. This is a huge part of your fight. You have to fight to have control of the government, or participate in the government that's ruling over you. Come on now. You can't be this naive. But he's a Christian. I don't expect much from Christians. Yeah, I really don't. I love my mother, but I don't expect much from her. I spoke to my mother today and she said, "Don't pray about it." I said, "Mom, instead of praying, why don't you be about it?" Huh? I said, "Yeah, instead of praying about it, why don't you be about it?" Y'all have to understand something. I'm atheist. I can't stand that fucking Jesus Christ bullshit that my mother's screaming to. I have to remind my mother I'm paying her car payment, her insurance, her rent. I furnished the apartment. All new. New, everything. Beautiful stuff. Gorgeous. I have a guy going in there going to paint, hang out TVs on the walls, make it beautiful, make her home. But she got Jesus written. I'm like, what is this shit? Jesus, you need to erase this bullshit called Jesus off these walls and put Walter's name up here. Now, I'm named after my daddy. The other Walter Sr. offered my mother a good life, but she turned it down because she wanted Jesus. I want some Jesus. Sweet Jesus, 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 Jesus. My mother lives in a fantasy world. She lives in a fantasy world. It saddens me. So anyway, I had to go in this morning, clean up the house, vacuum the floor, scrub pots and pans, clean up and everything. And she said about how I'm watching Jesus on TV. She's watching some Christian network program. I don't know. My mother's older, so I didn't say nothing. I just did what I needed to do. I need to hire somebody who can go in there and clean my mother's apartment at least once a week, because I'm not going to be able to do this. And obviously my brothers and sisters are not going to get involved for some odd reason. My sister said, Mama won't let me clean. What do you honestly think that I walked into that apartment and said, Mama, do you mind if I clean up your place? Hell no. I grabbed the mop, grabbed the vacuum cleaner, grabbed the pots and pans, cleaned up, sprayed it, clean up. It needs to be done. What do I need a permission for? Do it. I'm thinking, okay, these some ignorant motherfuckers. Your mother's apartment is dirty. You see that she needs some help. Help her. So now I'm figuring I'm going to have to go. My gym is right across the street from where my mother lives, right walking distance. So I'm just going to cut my gym cardio down, short time a little bit, and I'll finish up at her place and keep it like I'm going to have to do something and try and get somebody in there regularly. But anyway, I lost track of the subject. What the fuck I was talking about? Oh, Randall and Roland Martin. A lot of y'all think Roland Martin was right. Well, I was wrong. Maybe his presentation was wrong. Maybe he shouldn't have been attacking that young man so hard. I like what the young man is doing. I like his thought process, part of it. But to ignore voting or say voting really don't matter and politics is foolish. I'm thinking, okay, where fantasy world is this people? But he's young and he don't know no better. And I don't know, he grew up in a Christian household. I find that people who grow up in those types of homes who involve themselves in the Christian religion or any religion, they live in a fantasy world. They don't live in reality. And I don't think that young man, King Randall, is living in reality. Something's off by his thought process. To think I'm going to open a school in the United States of America, but I don't want it. I'm not going to get myself involved in voting. I'm not going to involve myself in. It's not that important. Huh? I was kind of confused. Like, okay, what is he talking about? But I'm gonna just say he's young and naive. And he's got to realize that you must participate in the political system, in the government, in the country that you fucking live in. You must participate. You don't have a fucking choice. You must vote. You must choose politics. You must. He ain't talking about his nonsense about, well, I'm not going to support a candidate who's funded by this person, funded by this. Support the candidate that you want. Support the people that you think would be good for these positions. Hell, King Randall should run his damn self. You want a school, maybe you should run for political office so you can also be controlled. Well, I don't see nothing wrong with people getting involved with politics. If King Randall wanted to run for a position out there where he lives, where he's planning to open a school, I think it would be wonderful. Get involved, because then he'll begin to see, there's money here that I could be used to open up my school. Now, he don't want none of the government money involved in it, but there's billions and millions available. Why not use that money? We paying for it. He wants the school to be self-funded. Okay, fine, I get it. That sounds great on paper. But these niggas not going to donate that much money to keep this school rolling and funded every fucking year, paying teachers' salaries. No, they ain't going to do it. But he young and he don't know no better. But I'm old and I know better. I know niggas ain't going to fucking do it. They ain't. They may give the first year or two, then they're going to forget that school exists and go about their business. I guess Oprah going to help them out. And Oprah like, what? I'm supposed to pay for this shit too? No. So you get your funding from the U.S. government. Now, Y'all don't think these private schools get money from the U.S. government some type of way? They do. Y'all don't think these charter schools, private schools, you don't think they get money from the government? It's a big old pot of cash there. Why he'd be a fool not to? And he'd be a fool not to participate in it too. To keep a school, which I think is an excellent, great idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. But it's going to need funding. And if he thinks that he's going to get funding by running around singing to Jesus, hoping that Jesus come and keep that school alive, he a goddamn fool, like my mama. See, Jesus is not paying for my mother's apartment, or the car note, or the insurance, or anything. My mother gets a Social Security check, I let her have it. Do what you want to do with it. Man, don't do what you want to do with it. I'll take care of this shit. A lot of folks can't do that. But in the event something happens to me, my mother up shit creek, because I know these other niggas ain't gonna do shit. So my mother needs to be very, put that money to the side. I can tell mom, let me spend all that money now. Put it up for in case an emergency happens. We don't know what may happen. You know, just keeping it real. You know, but she chose to have this apartment. She said, I'm so bored over here. I really don't like this apartment. This has nothing to do. Well, until most of America gets vaccinated, we all be sitting in these apartments with nothing to do. I told her she could have stayed here with me, but she didn't want that. So, hey. It should be all right. The place is nice. It's an empty building. I met a lady today. I met this girl. Look, I'm leaving the building after I dealing with my mom, taking trash to the dumps. I kept bumping to this young woman in the building. I'm thinking, to be honest with you, I thought the woman was younger than me. And I'm like, and she told me she lived here. I said, well, how'd you get a unit in here? She said, well, I'm 65. I said, you 65? She looked like she was in her 30s or 40s or black. So I said, I thought you were younger than me. She said, do you live here? I said, no, and my mother lives here. She said, oh, yeah, I'm 65 years old. She did not look. This woman did not look 65 years of age. I think she up to something. I said, okay, now wait a minute. Is that the new scam? Get you some fake ID and say you a certain age so you can move into these cheap rent apartments? That woman, something ain't right about this. This woman was drop dead gorgeous. And she said she was 65. Could be true. Black don't crack. But she was so fine as hell. I was thinking, okay. I'm thinking she's somebody's child in the building. She's running out helping her mom. I said, did your mom get everything settled and everything? She looked at me like, Mom, what are you talking about? She told me she has 8 children and grandchildren and all this stuff. I'm thinking, huh? She did not look. She's on her way to the gym. Looked fabulous. I'm thinking, honey, if you 65 years of age and she telling the damn truth, I'll see her again. She comes out. She's in the building. She said she retired. She's 65. She's in the building. Could be true. We're gonna find out. Shit, she got I'm sure she got one of them good apartments. The apartments are beautiful. The apartments they in the building, my mother, they're beautiful. You know, they're nice. It's not. They have the beautiful baby grand piano in the lobby. Excuse me. It's gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. They don't have swimming pool. They do, but they do have a fitness area and some other stuff going on. But it's a beautiful building. I think as more people move in there, my mother gets to meet people and everybody get their vaccines and everybody's doing stuff. And they start doing more stuff in the common areas of the buildings, like 4 or 5 areas. They're going to have a guy playing the piano. And the building is beautiful. It's a very luxury, upscale place for older seniors. And I think it's gorgeous. But there are not a lot of people in there right now. They're still moving people in there. I said, Mama, give it some time. She said, I just don't know, Walter. I'm just sitting over here. This is what you wanted. Anyway, enough of that. So, today is Tuesday, March 30th. I wanted to do one more video because for some odd reason, I still don't understand this pushback on this vaccine and why black people are pushing back so hard against this. And a lot of black people are going to lose their lives who don't get this vaccination. The ignorance that I'm hearing from young people, old people, it's just not making any sense to me. And we're not done with this pandemic. And if we don't get vaccinated, a lot of people that look like me and brown black Americans are going to lose their lives because of ignorance. There are people who are turning down a vaccine who are eventually going to die from COVID-19. And I don't know, I'm trying to make this, I'm trying to understand this foolishness, but I'm going to talk about that next. I'll be back in a few minutes. Y'all get 3 videos out of me today, in 2 days rather, because I started on Monday. I'm finishing up on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, March 30th. The year is 2021. And next up is going to be my discussion. I'm going to talk about this foolishness about the coronavirus vaccine. But anyway, I agree with Roland, y'all. I agree with Roland. You have to be involved. But I agree with both of them to a degree. Roland could have been showed a little bit more compassion towards this young man. But to think that young man's kind of naive. To think that not being involved in politics, or that's not his fight, his battle, I just didn't understand. I was completely like, what do you mean it's not your fight, your battle? How is this not your fight and your battle? When you're trying to open up a school. Does he really think that he gonna just let you open up the school and without no permits, no education? And nobody can just open up a school. Does he not realize this? I think he's got a lot he's gonna have to learn. But we'll see. Anyway, today's Tuesday, March 30th. The year is 2021, and I'll be back in a few minutes.